live recording this right now. It is Wednesday, January 14th, early in the morning right now. Dylan is here. Connor's here, fully castrated right now.
Wow.
Yeah, we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back. We've got the national title preview today. We've got the divisional round preview today. Sadly, we won't be talking Panther football today. I know Dylan's devastated right now.
This is arguably the best day of my life. I saw a TikTok of a Carolina Panthers fan getting upset with other Panthers fans for leaving the field, leaving the stadium when there were 12 seconds left, 13 seconds left. The game was over. Just perfectly encapsulates what a Carolina Panthers fan is. They were just they didn't care about people leaving. They were upset that they lost the game and they were wanting to take it out on their fellow fans. It's very interesting to see. All that being said, I'm glad we don't have to talk about the Panthers.
Yeah, I was going to make Michigan jokes, but it's just not worth it.
Well, I mean, we're taking everybody from Utah. We're stealing all your coaches. I don't know what the joke would be.
I was told they weren't good enough for the Big Ten, and now they will be good enough for the Big Ten?
Once they get to the Big Ten, they'll learn the Big Ten way.
It's
and
culture. That's how that works.
Like the raw talent isn't there, but we will instill that in them once they get here.
You know,
same
Michigan
with
culture where Juwan Howard's punching people across the handshake line. That same Michigan culture.
Yeah,
we have Juwan Howard. For every Juwan Howard, for every Sharon Moore, we have a Dusty May. We have a Jim Harbaugh. So we have a Kyle Whittingham.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
like Connor mentions Michigan culture. Like I fully expect to see a scenario where it's 2 minutes left and Michigan's trying to 2-minute drive, win a game, and they're out of timeouts. But Whittingham just keeps calling timeouts. He keeps calling timeouts with no timeouts.
That's 50
Michigan
years
culture.
ago. What are we doing now? This was
Michigan culture.
I know we're not starting with college football, but you're talking about Michigan culture. Are we going to talk about Ohio State culture at all? Because now Indiana's going on this tear. All of a sudden, Indiana's cheating. And then maybe there's one school that's pretty flippant with their cheating accusations. Anytime they get beat, they just throw out cheating.
It is funny because everyone did. All of a sudden, all these analysts are tweeting out like, "No, Indiana knows their plays. Indiana knows this. Like they know Alabama's plays. They know Oregon's plays." It's like, I mean, I'm not going to say no, but
to put a bow on that, isn't it kind of crazy? Indiana going from what they were 3 years ago to now we have to accuse them of cheating because they're so good.
Yeah, they suffered enough. Even if they are cheating, let's just let them have this.
Let them have it. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
But
Team of Destiny.
We'll close the show with the national title preview. First things first, Mike Tomlin steps down as the Steelers head coach. We talked about the last regular season game between the Ravens and the Steelers. Tyler Loop missing that kick, and it's like, and then Harbaugh gets fired, and it's like, oh man, like, imagine if that kick would have gone in. Harbaugh would have kept his job and Tomlin would have been the one fired. No, it didn't matter. It's just they're both fired and it's done. And clearly both teams felt like they needed a new direction. I feel like this is a disaster for both teams. And the AFC North is now going to be awful.
It's just a little swamp.
If you're a Bengals or a Browns fan, you are over the moon right now.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw this clip. The Ravens owner saying if Tyler Loop made that kick, would Harbaugh still be the coach? He said for another week. So the plan had been for them to let go of Harbaugh, no matter what the result was. I'm maybe barring a Super Bowl. I don't know.
Yeah.
The Mike Tomlin situation is interesting. Do you guys believe that it was that he stepped down, or do you think that's a nicety?
Yes. I think he stepped down.
You think he actually voluntarily left?
Yeah.
Connor?
Yeah, I would agree. I think there was definitely some conversations had, maybe some kind of like, hey, what's the plan for next year? We've lost our last 7 playoff games, maybe some conversations were going to be had, but I don't think they would have thrown him out of the facility. I think he did make the final decision to step down. Probably a little bit of pressure, but it was probably his decision for the most part.
Tomlin's smart to leave. Why would you want to be the head coach of the Steelers right now? I think it's one of the worst jobs in the NFL available.
We've done this song and dance before, so I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it is really interesting trying to quantify the I think with any of these head coaching vacancies or how any of the teams operate, you have the coaching aspect and then you have the skill aspect. And then you have the coaches that do the most with little and do little with the most. And this, I think Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, you can definitely make the case he was doing the most with the least at this time. He had the Ben Roethlisberger when he took over. That was fine. But at this current time, he was doing the most with the least. And I mean, if you put who's a net neutral coach in the NFL? Todd Bowles? Net neutral?
That might be a net negative.
Net negative?
Yeah,
if you put
Bowles,
a net neutral coach in at Pittsburgh,
Todd Bowles.
They're not going 10-7.
No, this team stinks. Look at the quarterback. Look at the offensive line isn't even good. There's really nothing good to point to. Even the defense is all aging kind of past their prime. Like, this is a disaster situation if you're a coach to walk into. And I keep hearing the same thing about, this Steelers job's going to be attractive because they don't fire coaches. You know why they don't fire coaches? Because they didn't have a losing season in 20 years. That's why they didn't fire coaches. That's the dumbest argument of all time. It's like, they have great ownership. It's like, the ownership isn't great. They had just a great coach. And, yeah, they've only had, 3 coaches since 1970, basically. Like, I get that there's an appeal to that, but guess what? You're walking in there with Aaron Rodgers, or no Aaron Rodgers. You don't know who your quarterback's going to be, Mason Rudolph or some second-round pick probably. And
Will Howard.
Yeah, Will Howard, genuinely. And then you have a running back room of Jalen Warren, Kenneth Gainwell. That's bottom 5 in this league. And then DK Metcalf, good wide receiver. Outside of that, I'd rather take the Titans wide receiver room outside of DK Metcalf. And then the offensive line, meh. Defense, aging. Mm-hmm. It's a disaster, I think, for Pittsburgh right now. And I know you got to clean house and everything. I mean, they're going to be terrible next year.
Can I play devil's advocate with you real quick? Because I do, my opinion is I agree with you. I don't think it's one of the most luxurious openings, the way they've operated for the past couple of years. Number one, it's been pretty boring from a skill standpoint. They really haven't, I can't think off the top of my head, any like splash free agent signings they've made. But
besides DK trade, Russie.
Well, of course, Russie. We can't
Adam
forget
Thielen,
Russie.
that was
Adam Thielen, yes, the culture fit. Out of the current head coaching openings, the Pittsburgh Steelers have the 3rd most cap space. The Titans are 1st, the Raiders are 2nd, and Pittsburgh is 3rd with about $65 million. So that would maybe be a slight counterpoint, as they do have money to work with.
But that's the thing is, in the NFL, I think cap space is a little overrated. If you're in the NBA and you have $100 million of cap space, go off and sign 2 max players and 4 role players, and you've got a team. You can do that. Free agency, people are going back and forth. The NFL, I think, is a little different. I think it's got to be built more than just I don't think free agency is that much of a deal breaker in the NFL.
And in the NBA, it's even overrated because if you're a crappy market, then dudes aren't going to want to go sign a max there. You're going to have to overpay Gordon Hayward.
You're paying double.
Nick Batum and crap like that. And then also in the NFL one, like if guys are good enough, they get retained in the NFL. Dudes don't move and go to different teams in the NFL. Like T. Higgins, was like the borderline. He could have been like an all-star free agent signing for a team. Even then, he still got retained by the Bengals. If you're a free agent in the NFL, it's because the team was willing to let you walk.
And the thing about this whole thing with Mike Tomlin and the Steelers and all of that is, I think maybe, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, it's just time for a change. Voice got stale in 19 years. You've lost your last 7 playoff games. And I get it. I was arguing with some people last night about it, and they were like, half the teams in the league would take what the Steelers have had over the last 10 years, a winning record every year, competing, not being at the bottom of the league. Yes, but I think the goalposts kind of move, and I think the fans and ownership, you get to a point where if you're not going to make a Super Bowl run, then that's it, period. Making the playoffs every couple of years or every year and losing in the first round is maybe not enough for the Steelers. So I don't mind the move, honestly. I think they're going to suck next year, but I think it's the right move.
Yeah, I think, but that's what I think it's more of a Tomlin move. Really, I really do think he stepped down and goes, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to go through a rebuild. I've been a coach for forever at this point. I want to go into a situation where I have my quarterback and I have things set up ready to go where I can compete for a Super Bowl. I don't want to have to go down to Birmingham, Alabama and go to pro days and figure out who my next quarterback's going to be.
So do we think he is still wanting to coach?
Yeah, the rumor is he's going to the Dolphins, which makes no sense to me.
I mean, I spent 19 years in Pittsburgh. I would probably be trying to go somewhere warm.
Tua?
But if you're trying, that would be a
it
counter-argument.
will not be Tua. It's Quinn Ewers.
If you were trying to make the case, but if your case is he doesn't want to stick around for a rebuild, are you essentially going to be doing that in Miami?
You're not going to be doing that in Atlanta.
No, not going to be doing that in Baltimore.
Tennessee.
I would love it. Guys, I would be insufferable. You guys kind of poo-pooed on the cap space thing. Tennessee Titans have the second most cap space. You have Cam Ward, who I think is maybe the guy. I don't know.
Yeah, that's different. They have Cam Ward, number 1 pick. Yeah.
Exactly. The Steelers, having cap space with no quarterback is the worst thing imaginable because then you're about to make a bunch of bad signings, and it's like we still don't have a quarterback, so none of this matters at this point. At least the Titans.
Who is starting? Go ahead.
The Titans, their defense not that bad.
Not the worst. Not the worst.
You bolster up that offensive line, give Cam Ward a weapon, maybe in the draft. Like the Titans could make noise. I think that is an attractive job opening if I'm a coach.
New stadium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When's that though? I think that's like 2030.
No, it's like 2 years, isn't it? 2027.
Really?
Like 2 years. 2028.
I think it is 2 years. Anyhow,
what I was gonna say is, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, week 1 next year, who's starting for the Steelers? Who's gonna be their starting quarterback? Gardner Minshew, or is there gonna be a 5th round quarterback? Like, what are we looking at here? Probably a mid-tier free agent, if I had to guess. I don't think it'll be Will Howard.
I'll go Ty Simpson.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
I have no clue. Do they? I don't know.
I'm
not a draft guy. I'm not going to act like I'm a draft guy.
Give me Gardner Minshew.
I'm just warning
Joe
Steelers
Flacco
fans. I know you're wanting Tomlin out. You're done with losing playoff games and all this stuff. I'm warning you. You don't know what it's like. A lot of these Steelers fans, their entire lifetimes, they have no idea what it's like to be a 4-13 football team and be miserable across the board and have no hope. And I guess you have no hope with this team now, but guess what? It doesn't matter if Vince Lombardi was coaching your team. You weren't going to win a thing. This was always your ceiling.
Going 3-14 or 5-12, whatever, for the next 3 or 4 years, which is probably what's going to happen. I think it's going to break a lot of that fan base. I think you're right.
Yeah, and it's going to be glorious because that is a spoil. Patriots fans are a whole another level of spoiled, but Steelers fans still spoiled.
So where does Tomlin go next year?
I think Atlanta. Makes the most sense.
That's a good one.
I'm rooting for Cleveland.
Stay in the division. Wow.
Deshaun. If anybody can fix Deshaun Watson, it's probably Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, honestly.
He's dealt with crazies before.
What if we just played a little coach roulette in that division? Stefanski, you head off to Pittsburgh, to Baltimore. Stefanski, Baltimore. Harbaugh, Pittsburgh. Tomlin, Cleveland. There we go.
And Zach Taylor just hangs on.
Yeah, Zach Taylor stays in Cincinnati.
But anyhow, I'm excited for the coaching care. So I'm not gonna lie. There's too many good head coaches now out there, like Tomlin, Harbaugh, and even Stefanski. I think is still a good coach. I can't have any of those three go to Atlanta. I need Atlanta to be like Chris Shula, come to the Falcons, just some random offensive coordinator. That Jonathan Gannon come be the Falcons head coach. I can't.
Cliff Kingsbury, are you sure you don't want to get back into it?
Yeah. Like, now that the Panthers are going to be favorites in the division going into next season, probably, I can't have the Falcons have a good head coach because if they get a good head coach, they're winning that division.
So right
the road
now
runs through Charlotte, Dylan.
Yeah, the South. Nope.
The South will what?
No.
You said
not
rise?
Nope, I didn't say that.
Falcons rise up.
Atlanta Falcons. I got that swag. Atlanta Falcons odds to be the next head coach. Tell me how you feel about these three names. Okay, three tied with 18%. John Harbaugh.
Very much dislike because that would be so good for Atlanta.
Kevin Stefanski.
Hate that.
Mike McDaniel.
Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay with McDaniel.
That's the one you're choosing out of those three?
Yeah.
I'm taking McDaniel for sure, but I don't think McDaniel's necessarily a bad head coach. I think
I would love for we interviewed him for our head coaching, the Titans head coaching spot. I wouldn't hate that.
I don't think he's that bad. I just think Tua sucks.
Yeah.
I agree. Real quick, I think McDaniel's going to be an OC for 1 year and then get back into it. But regardless, how do you guys feel about the graphics that every team makes that interviewed Kevin Stefanski for our head coaching position? Interviewed Mike McDaniel.
The Matt Nagy one got me.
It's like some of these you shouldn't be posting. It's like, do you really want us to know you interviewed this team's quarterback coach for your head coaching position?
Is there anything like it's whenever like with Andy Reid or with one of these play callers or these coordinators where the head coach is already the play caller for that position? So like Andy Reid with the Chiefs. Andy Reid calls the plays for the Kansas City Chiefs and runs that entire offense. Why are you hiring why are you looking at the Chiefs offensive coordinator? Like clearly Andy Reid's running the show.
It's like a figurehead monarchy. Isn't like the Queen Elizabeth or whatever? It's like, oh, she's the queen, but she has no actual power. It's
like one of those political cartoons where there's like a puppeteer in the background. It's like, oh, big business and the oligarchy. Little DBQ on that for all you A-push students out there.
Any DBQ?
Database question or something based question? I don't know. Not data. What's the D? I don't even know.
What's the D?
Isn't that
the question?
Hold on.
DBQ?
Document-based question. That's what it is. They'll give you a political cartoon. You got to write a essay about it.
Oh, nice. That'd be up my alley.
I know.
What's any other news we want to get to before we preview games?
Are we opting out of the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yeah, because I don't think it'll play on there. I think the software's messed up. So, anyhow, okay. Let's preview some games. Let's go divisional round. AFC divisional round, 4:30 CBS Saturday. Bills Broncos at Mile High. Broncos a 1.5-point favorite. Over under 45.5. Now we have been on this podcast for months now saying this Broncos team frauds. We don't believe in them. We're not believers necessarily. This defense, I don't know. Are the numbers flawed? Who knows? The Bills, this defense stinks. There's no other way to put it. They stink, and they're overrated on defensive rating, whatever metric you're looking at. I'll be quick here. Once again, just play the music. It's a jukebox right now. I'm taking the better quarterback in this game. And also the Broncos with the Bills. You have to have someone that has an elite run game to really exploit them. The Broncos don't have that. I don't trust R.J. Harvey to get it done on the ground and go get 100-plus yards in this game and 2 touchdowns. And then on top of that, I really don't believe in Bo Nix, especially when it comes down to crunch time in a big playoff game like this. I'm taking the guy with the experience. I'm taking the team with the more experience. Josh Allen is going to be able to get it done on the road. I don't care it's on the road. I don't care about altitude. I don't care. Give me the Bills.
My counterpoint to your claim of the Bills' run defense, and it takes a good rush attack to take advantage of that, is that Bashal Tutin ran for 51 yards on 4 carries against the Bills.
What was his long?
I don't know.
See, then we got to count out the outliers.
What is the long, then? Do you know the long, or are you just asking what the long is, and when I say I don't know, using it against me?
I just remember watching the game. He had a long run, so.
So my counterpoint would be that, listen,
20 yards.
20-yard run.
So that's not great. So it's not really
31 on 3 carries. Still 10 yards per carry outside of the outlier, which I think is a great point you make, Karter. We have to remove the outliers. Do you want to go ahead and remove the shortest run too? That's good data practice.
I was saying that's fine. 3 for 31, that's great.
Let's remove all the real runs, then just go based off his prop line, whatever the line was set at, and we'll just based off that.
That's not you're not arguing good faith, Connor.
Yeah, he's not. He's trying to screw with us. Anyhow, I know the Jags were able to run on them, and teams can run on them, and average teams can run on them. They still couldn't take full advantage of that and win that ball game, even despite of that. R.J. Harvey, I would take ETN and Tutin any day of the week over. I would take Trevor Lawrence, ETN, and Tutin over Bo Nix and R.J. Harvey any day of the week.
So then you add in more variables, though, right? You add in the Broncos have an extra week of rest. You add in you got to go to Mile High and play.
I think the extra week of rest is very overrated when it comes to playoff time.
Oh, well why don't we just look at the amount of number 1 seeds that have made the Super Bowl over the course of the past 20 years?
That's so flawed because the number 1 seeds are usually the best teams.
Okay, so you're wanting to attribute that to...
But we've had.
Well, then that answers our question here. Why are we Broncos?
No,
They're a better team.
But we know that's different because a 1-seed Chiefs that's been to the Super Bowl is very different than a 1-seed Excuse me, I'm dying here. 1-seed Broncos or it's like the 1-seed Titans.
Oh,
we know they weren't. We know that 1-seed Titans team wasn't a Super Bowl contender.
Very mean, very mean. Here's what I'm going to say, and here's what I'm hanging my hat on. I think I've been more in on the Broncos than you guys, but even then, I would not go as far as to say I have been fully bought in on this Broncos team being a Super Bowl contender. I do think Josh Allen is the better quarterback. However, my caveat to those that I've already touched on is I don't think it takes an awesome rush offense to take advantage of what the Bills do on defense. It's not great against the run. And I think that will open up things for Bo Nix in the passing game, Cortland Sutton in the passing game. You get the extra bye week. You're playing at home, Mile High, probably one of the bigger home field advantages in professional football. I don't love it. I'm not planting a flag here, but I do think the Broncos win this game. I'm picking the Broncos.
I'm going to disagree. I think you guys know where I'm going with this.
Throw the stats out the window, Connor.
Well, yes, number one, who do you trust the most? That's always a great argument. I think Josh Allen, who dismantled this team last year, I know, it was a year ago, different teams, different stadium, whatever, dismantled this team a year ago. And it's who do you trust most at the end of the game with the ball in their hands? And that, for me, is Josh Allen. And the other caveat I want to make is that Denver has a better defense. They do. They are the better defensive unit. But does Denver's offense and Bo Nix have enough in them to have sustained long drives and keep Josh Allen off the field? I actually don't think so. I think Bo Nix is going to go 3 and out many times, going to give Josh Allen chance after chance after chance. They're not going to keep him off the field, and eventually the Bills are going to break through and beat this Broncos team. And that's what I want to hang my hat on. And the second thing is we haven't seen this Broncos team play a good game in a month. They beat the Packers December 14th. They lose to the Jags by 2 touchdowns. They beat the Chiefs with no Mahomes, and they beat the Chargers without any starters. The last time we've seen the Broncos play a good game is December 14th.
Counterpoint, maybe the bye week resets that.
Or
there's
it's been a month since they played a good game.
Well, but that's what, maybe the bye week. I'm not saying order that. I think that's true. I'm not going to argue that. But we could entertain a possibility where a week off resets things and they're back on track. Here's the caveat I want to give you. You say, game on the line, you trust Josh Allen more than Bo Nix. I think that's fair. I would agree with that. But the game has to get there. Like, you have to get to a position where it is game on the line. Josh Allen has the ball. So I'm saying I don't think it's going to get there.
But if you're saying it's not going to get there, that means the Broncos are winning this comfortably.
Score? 8, 9, 9, 10?
If it's 8, it's still Allen can lead him down the field.
But even then, with this Bills rush defense, the Broncos could get the ball with having a lead with 7 minutes left and drain the clock. And that could be a 3-point lead. You don't even give Josh Allen a chance. I'm just saying I don't disagree with you guys saying Josh Allen is the game changer here. What I'm saying is I'm not sure it will get to a position where it's going to matter.
And that's what I'm saying is if you're saying you're not going to get to a position where it doesn't matter, you're saying that it won't be a one-possession game at the end of the game. And that Denver wins comfortably.
No, I'm not necessarily saying that. There is a world where we could have that and the Broncos run the clock out.
If it's a one-possession, well, that means the Bills would have the ball at that point.
The Bills have the ball with 7:30 left and they have to punt. Broncos get the ball and they've drained 7 minutes worth of clock. The game wasn't ever really in Josh. I mean, I guess you could say that last drive, but with 8 minutes left, it's a little different than with 1 minute left. Like if Josh Allen's driving down the field with 1 minute left, I'm probably a little nervous if it's a one-score game. Yeah.
Are you nervous if Bo Nix is doing that? Probably not.
No.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that's going to happen. I do have a serious question. Quarterback advantage to the Bills. Defense, I understand we think the Broncos defense is a little overrated. I'm still probably going Broncos. Are we off there?
Yes. Yeah.
Coaching, Sean Payton, Sean McDermott. Who we going?
I don't think Sean Payton's been great this year. I think a lot of their problems have been stemming from him.
Wash?
I know Payton has playoff experience and won a Super Bowl and everything, but
some of his late game stuff this year has been questionable, I think.
Okay. I'm going Broncos.
I
I want the Bills to win. I need that on record. I want the Bills. I think Broncos.
The thing is, yes, the Broncos defense is a little overrated, but they are better than this Bills team. I just don't think the Broncos offense is going to be on the field enough. I think if you give Josh Allen enough tries at it, and give a quarterback like that the ball enough times, eventually he's going to make you pay. The defense is going to get tired, wear you down. And if we're being honest, if the game's tied or Bills are up 3 or 2 or whatever it is into the game, Bo Nix has the ball 3 minutes left, I don't necessarily believe he's going to drive down the field and win the game in 2 or 3 minutes.
And
I think it's fair.
Do we put any credence into last year's playoff game?
I was going to ask. I think it's got to play some sort of role. It's only a year ago, and these are very similar teams. What's different about either one of these teams? Broncos' run game's a little bit different. Bills still have horrible receiving room. Like, it's about the same.
Like, and Bo Nix was abysmal in that game. I think, if I remember correctly, I think they had like an awesome first drive. And it's like,
they did. Crap, Troy Franklin touchdown, first drive, 7-0.
Yeah, I was like, oh, crap, like the Broncos, are they going to do this? And then just absolutely get spanked after that. I think Bills win. I think Bills win in a close one, and we do this song and dance on the next episode, and Dylan's like, I'm going with the other defense. The quarterback doesn't matter. Even though we do these playoff previews, the quarterback is the most important stat.
When have I don't think I said this whole time the quarterback doesn't matter, nor have I sat here and applauded Denver's defense.
I think you're undervaluing the importance of having Josh Allen.
Well, if someone were to do that in previous years, they'd be pretty rich, no?
But if someone did that in previous years against Patrick Mahomes, they would not be rich. And someone on this podcast has been going against Patrick Mahomes. They
would? Anti-Josh Allen against Patrick Mahomes? Yeah, they'd be pretty rich.
No, talking about Patrick Mahomes in the singular.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Anyhow, let's move on. Let's go Saturday night. I know we've seen this matchup twice already this year, but I am fascinated to see it in the playoffs. Niners Seahawks. Seahawks 7.5-point favorite. Over under 44.5. Sam Darnold hosting a home game. If we remember the Rams Vikings game last year, I always forget that's played in Glendale, Arizona. I feel like that's a weird wrinkle. I know it's supposed to be a road game for the Vikings last year, but still a weird wrinkle.
That is a weird wrinkle.
Was that the Fires?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I kind of there was a golf tournament canceled because of that. Okay.
And so either way, I don't know why that popped in my head, but thinking about Sam Darnold in the playoffs. Sam Darnold in the playoffs. Connor, I'll start with you. I know the Niners' run defense the defense is sketchy to say the least. We saw them bend, don't break, and get some turnovers against the Eagles. Can they do the same thing against the Seahawks?
If you're the Seahawks, it's how little can you ask Sam Darnold to do and still win the game. You cannot let Sam Darnold throw the ball 40 times in an environment like this, even hosting a home playoff game in Seattle. I will not be fooled by this. Again, we saw it last year, and I think 7.5 points is absurd to make Sam Darnold a favorite. I don't care if they're playing the Titans. I don't care if they're playing the Panthers from last year. 7.5 point favorites for Sam Darnold. And look, he's been great this year. He was awesome. The Seahawks were awesome this year. But there's something about him in the playoffs where you just don't know what you're going to get. And if you're a Niners fan, that's what you're banking on, is 3 turnovers from Sam Darnold, drops the ball, fumble Ruski, pick 6, something happened in your favor to kind of flip the game. And that's what you got to believe if you're a Niners fan. I think the injuries, Kittle being out, the odds are stacked up against San Francisco. But the way Kyle Shanahan has been this season with this team, I think McCaffrey has a pretty big game. He's going to get 1 million touches. I think this is going to be a close one. I think 7 points is too much. I'm going to go Seattle, but barely. Like skin of your teeth, barely. Like over top.
Seattle wins, San Francisco covers.
Yeah, kind of which is more impressive, some would say.
I would say that's more impressive. They're going to spam McCaffrey. I think that's fair. Week 18, 22 carries, 69 yards, just over 3 yards per carry. I think you're right. I think you're right that they are going to try and move the offense through McCaffrey's hands. I will put my hand up and say I didn't realize. I don't know why it took me 18, 19 weeks to realize how good the Seattle Seahawks defense is. Like, you look at charts and you plot drop back EPA allowed versus rush EPA allowed, and the Seahawks are just in a tier of their own, specifically against the rush, but their passing is up there too. I think Texans, I mean, they're really up there, and I think that's the difference maker. I actually feel fairly confident in this one. I like the Seahawks to cover. I think they win big. Again, I think the extra rest is going to help them a lot. However, Connor, I do kind of agree with what you were saying with Sam Darnold. If you are the Seahawks, you are looking for a way to control this game with your defense. I think the run game is going to have a lot of success, and you're really not asking Sam Darnold to do a lot. And you're going to have to find a way to navigate that, but I think that's the key to success for the Seahawks. Not just in this game, but moving forward, which we could question their Super Bowl prowess with that. Teams have done it before, but yeah.
Real quick, Karter. I just want to say that I think that's entirely possible if you're the Seahawks. Against this depleted 49ers defense, all the injuries, I think you can run the ball 40 times.
Fred Warner, practice window opened. Anybody see that?
He's not coming back.
No, he's not.
He's not coming back. I saw somebody put $25 on him to win Super Bowl MVP to win like $50,000. Just FanDuel advertising that on their X page is malpractice. But I think it's entirely possible. If you're Seattle, give Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker 18 carries each. Run the ball, run the clock down, make it a 17-7 game or something like that, and win the game. And don't let Sam Darnold throw more than 20 times, and don't let him throw across the middle of the field more than 10 yards in front of you. And that's entirely possible against this Niners defense.
Yeah, I'm struggling with this one because, shocker, I see both sides. I very much see both sides of it. Where I think if you told me any outcome of this game, I don't think I'd be surprised. If you told me Darnold came in, had a disaster, threw 4 interceptions and a pick 6, and McCaffrey, had an unbelievable game and Niners blow him out, I could see that. If you told me that Charbonnet and Walker ran all over the Niners and Darnold didn't really have to do too much, picked his spots with Njigba, and Purdy just had back-breaking turnovers, and the Seahawks blow him out, I could see that. I think I could see any outcome in this game. And we talk about the quarterback matchup in the playoffs. I don't necessarily know if the Seahawks are at that much of a disadvantage in this one. Like, yeah, Purdy has the experience. Purdy's won playoff games, and he, decent game against the Eagles, but he also had some awful turnovers. Like, it's not like those picks were, that was unlucky, it tipped off the defenders. Like, no, Purdy threw it into triple coverage, and the guy wasn't even close. And he had the Eagles dropped multiple picks in that game too, and A.J. Brown dropped wide open catches. Like, if A.J. Brown catches a few of those balls, like, we're talking about an Eagles or a different game here. But do I trust Sam Darnold in the playoffs?
I think the Seahawks have a better run game this year than the Vikings did last year. They had Aaron Jones, Cam Akers. I think Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker you can lean on more than that. And this Niners defense is, once great. They're just injured. They're just banged up. They're on fifth-string linebackers. It's just the sad truth of this. I think that does matter. And I don't want to speak this into existence, but doesn't it feel like we're going to be in the second quarter and some key 49ers member is going to go down with an ankle injury or something like that? It just happens every single playoff run. Like, we're all
knocking on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. I don't want that to happen, and maybe that's already been the case with Kittle, but it seems to happen every single year. I don't know. I just think it's not enough. They don't have enough.
Couple of notes on. Go ahead, Karter.
I was just saying. I'm going Seattle, and I know I've talked crap about. And my worst nightmare is the Seahawks-Bears NFC title game. I'm letting you know right now.
I'll personally reassure you that will not happen.
I've been calling frauds left and right on both of these teams. I just don't think the Niners can, and maybe I'll be proven wrong, I don't think the Niners can overcome these injuries. And I think Purdy loses this game. I don't think this is a matter, like Charbonnet, Walker, they should have success on the ground. I think Purdy's the reason they lose. We see him when he plays against, obviously, better defense is going to be tougher, but he throws so many interceptions when he has to go against these top-tier defenses. They get him every time.
Dylan, you're bankrolling Bears Seahawks exact matchup. You're going to bankroll those bets for us?
Yeah, I'll book them. It is kind of funny how we can't bank on Seahawks Bears NFC Championship when that's literally the 1 and 2 seed. Like,
I know,
probably one of the most likely outcomes. Couple notes here for me on the San Francisco side. Ricky Pearsall was the leading receiver when they met in Week 18. Who knows if he's going to play? I haven't read any reports. I do want to keep an eye out. Juszczyk, 2 receptions for 32 yards the last time these two teams met up. I'm interested to see how much of a piece he's going to be in the San Francisco 49ers game plan compared to Tungus with the Kittle injury. Because Juszczyk can serve in a pseudo tight end role. He's not a traditional halfback. I mean, he's a fullback, but I think he can. What are we doing here, Karter? Over there laughing.
No, I'm here for it because you and I are both we're gonna be we've been on the Juszczyk train for too long. I don't think we've ever been truly right on it with the anytime touchdowns. We might have hit it once, but I just love that people are listening to this being like, man, this guy always brings up Kyle Juszczyk he's like
I'm a big Harvard
Kyle
guy.
Juszczyk,
What can I say?
Good.
I'm a Harvard guy.
Dylan needs one of those jackets that his wife makes, the custom numbered jackets. Dylan's going to get one in the mail.
And just says smash with a block M.
I love Kyle Juszczyk. But aside from that point, interested to see his usage. How it will go, Karter. We'll get that. Oh, you got a bonus. You got a profit boost to use on any on any divisional round game. Kyle Juszczyk, anytime touchdown scorer.
Just remind me before kickoff because I'll forget. After I lose like a Josh Allen anytime in the Bills-Broncos game, remind me, and then we'll be riding Juszczyk.
Deal. I'll make sure to send that text real quick because I know we're up against it. Fantasy perspective, I think if you're looking for a tight end, if you're doing any daily fantasy, A.J. Barner's probably going to be the guy. The 49ers have allowed 10 touchdowns to tight ends. A.J. Barner gets used in these tush-push scenarios. I love A.J. Barner if you're looking for a tight end.
Darnold loves
Seahawks.
him, too.
Darnold does love him. Texans,
Michigan
Pats, -3, over under 40.5 in Foxborough. We saw the Texans just absolutely dismantle Aaron Rodgers, especially in that second half. I'm not going to lie, I wasn't impressed with the Pats' performance either against the Chargers. Dylan, who wins?
Texans. Wilkerson ratings have this as a wrong team favorite situation. And that's no surprise if you followed the show. I just think the Texans' pass rush is going to be overwhelming. We saw what it was able to do against Aaron Rodgers. The Texans, we didn't get to touch on this game. We don't need to. The Texans single-handedly retired Aaron Rodgers. That being your last game and being like, do I still want to play this game of football? The answer is quite obviously no. I think the Texans take advantage here. C.J. Stroud looked doo-doo, PP doo-doo buns. Hand up, Dylan, you're right. You're always right. Thank you. But I think the Texans, again, I'm going to say 13-3 their way to the Super Bowl. Obviously, the last game was 30, but the Texans defense scored more touchdowns than Aaron Rodgers did that game. I think that the Texans can do everything to win this game in spite of C.J. Stroud. Shout out Stephen A. Smith for calling Christian Kirk Charlie Kirk on First Take. Anybody see that?
I did see
I sure
that.
did. His recovery.
Awesome.
He was like, oh my goodness, oh my gosh.
That the politics and sports world is colliding for Stephen A. Give me Texans.
As somebody that's been in one of those control rooms, as soon as that happened, I bet the whole place just went up in flames. It's like, correct him now. They're in the host's ear, like, you got to stop him. Oh, man.
Texans.
Yeah, you're right about Steelers-Texans. It seemed like in that game, and this might just be a Steelers problem, that fourth quarter, the Texans defense just kind of leveled up as the game went on. As they played for 45 minutes, it's like fourth quarter, all right, let's retire this guy. Let's just do it now. And that might just be a Steelers problem, but that would, if you're a Patriots fan, that would scare me a lot. I think that pass rush, I think Will Anderson off the edge to no Hunter. We saw Will Campbell in the Chargers game, didn't have a great game, that Patriots O-line. I'm going to go against my boy Drake May here, and I'm going to pick the Texans. I think that defense is good enough to hold Drake May in check in his first playoff run, and I think the Patriots defense is susceptible enough to allow C.J. Stroud to have some success.
Yeah, I'm going Texans, and I hate it. I despise this pick because I'm not taking the better quarterback in this matchup, but look what that Chargers defense was able to do to that Pats offensive line. And now you got the best defense in the league right now. Not even close, especially with that pass rush with Will Anderson. I mean, Drake May's going to be running for his life in this game. I mean, Will Campbell was a revolving door against the Chargers. What is he going to do against Will Campbell or Will Anderson? And then I do get nervous because the Texans, I mean, that offense, there's nothing there. And if Nico Collins is out, how are they going to put points on the board?
Yeah. I mean, you see it in the totals. The lowest total of the weekend, 40.5.
Like, C.J. Stroud, 5 fumbles. He had 5 fumbles in this game and a pick.
His boy Jack Sawyer. What are we doing here? I thought there was some Ohio State loyalty. Yeah,
Stroud's hands were shaking back there.
But that's where I have the problem in this game. Assuming Nico Collins, because what did Nico Collins' injury ended up being? I don't
concussion.
Oh, so is he out or?
He didn't practice.
So
he has. So I don't know. It depends how severe it is. But
Either
the Texans
way,
have they held C.J. Stroud out for I think 4 weeks with a concussion at one point. So I don't know how conservative they are going to be, but they have a track record of being conservative.
Doubtful.
Yeah. There's
Dalton Schultz.
How do the Texans score in this game?
Defense. Honestly.
Yeah, short, just super short fields, and that's how it's done. Because I think that's the only way they score. I think this is similar to the Chargers-Pats game, and also we see with the Chargers game, like Herbert was just nervous in that game, but C.J. Stroud was even more terrified against the Steelers.
Yeah, people forget. If people didn't watch that game, they wake up the next morning, they're like, the Texans routed the Steelers. It was 6-7. The score was 6-7 for quite a long time in that game, and then the defense just came alive in the fourth quarter, and they scored 23 points. But the majority of that game, C.J. Stroud was begging to lose that game. He was giving the Steelers every opportunity, dropping the ball, getting hit, trying to throw the ball, getting it stripped out of his hands. And that's something that, if you're a Texans fan, you're kind of scared of. So you're right. I think the only way the Texans score is dink and dunk Christian Kirk style again.
So we're saying race to 10 wins this game.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
I think this Texans defense is going to carry them to a Super Bowl appearance, though. I'm sticking with it. I picked the Texans to make the Super Bowl before the playoffs started. I'm staying with it. Sorry, Drake May. Give me the Texans.
I'm going Texans. I don't feel great about it because I don't know how they score points, but I'm rocking with that defense too. That's a bad game day graphic.
Have we considered how Azeez Al-Shahir's eye black stop the genocide is going to affect the outcome of this game?
The same guy that gets suspended for dirty hits 3 times a season? Is that the same guy?
Thank you, Connor. Set you up in a good way. If I was starting an all-accent team, all-inflection team, 1A pick, Xavier Legette, 1B, Will Campbell. Just saying.
Which one sounds more fake?
Ooh. Are you setting me up here?
I don't know. I think it's a genuine question. I think Will Campbell's weirdly sounds a little, but then like you see the Xavier Legette stuff come out from his days at South Carolina when he tried to be more buttoned up.
I'm going Xavier Legette.
Yeah. Anyhow, but I think you're right. All accent team. I think you nailed it.
Thank you.
I think we could just go ahead and put up the game day graphic for this one. Rams Rams minus 3.5, over under 48.5. If you're a Bears fan, I'd just go ahead and turn off this preview.
Turn it off.
Rams by 10.
That's Wilkerson ratings make the Rams 10-point favorites. Karter in lockstep with the Wilkerson ratings, and then you add on the luck component. They're still the second luckiest team. The Bears still the second luckiest team. The Rams are the unluckiest team left in the playoffs. This is 5-star Texans. So 3 5-stars in the divisional round. Seahawks minus 7.5. Texans money line. Rams minus 3.5. 3 5-stars.
Wow. Can Dylan go 3 for 4? 15 stars.
I flooded a lot of stars in the divisional round. I flooded the market. I went light on 5 stars during the regular season to go heavy in the I almost said off season, in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Rams.
You can go ahead and game day graphic me. This is a get right spot for the Rams. I truly believe this is going to be the stepping stone, kind of the launch pad for their Super Bowl run and eventual victory. In my eyes, I think eventually the luck's got to run out for the Bears. The clock's got to strike midnight at some point. They can't keep being in these close games and squeaking them out. And I want to credit Caleb Williams for coming through in some of these games at the end of the game. I don't want to discredit him at all. I just don't think they're going to be in that position again in this spot. I don't think there's going to be a chance down 4 with 2 minutes left and they have the ball. I think the Rams are going to take care of business.
I think you nailed it because I don't think we've seen it with the Rams time and time again where they're not one of these stupid teams or one of these idiotic head coaches that don't understand clock management in any way. They are so dialed in from start to finish. Plus, you have Matthew Stafford going against this Bears defense with Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, and company. They're going to slice and dice this defense on top of manage the clock, time of possession. And I have questions about this Rams defense, but honestly, outside of the Seahawks and Texans, I kind of have questions about every team in this playoffs defense. And once again, Caleb Williams just can't keep getting away with this. This is not a sustainable formula for this Bears team to keep winning games, and you're not going to be able to do it on McVay and Stafford. Even if they keep it within a touchdown, congratulations. I think Rams absolutely steamroll here. And Bears fans will say, well, they were in a close one against Carolina. It took a game-winning drive to beat the Carolina Panthers and everything. That game was bananas, and I don't think we see that again. I think they absolutely steamroll the Bears. I don't think it's close.
Bears are first in turnover differential. That won't last. They are 27th in total penalties. They're undisciplined. They're 18th in red zone touchdown conversion rate. I just really think everything lines up for the Rams here.
I agree.
I would agree. I think it's a boring analysis, but I think you're right. And, if you're the Bears, do you want to try to lean on the run game that hasn't been great with DeAndre Swift and Monongai? I mean, that's been very hit or miss. I don't know where you turn to for the Bears. And I think it just boils down to, if you're a Bears fan, yes, Caleb Williams has been great in all these late game scenarios, and I think all three of us agree we just don't think it's going to get there. So,
I am worried about the Rams secondary in this game because I think that can be exploited, but also I am very curious to see how McVay schemes up against Caleb Williams.
You think he puts him in a blender a little bit?
I think he does. And I don't want look again. This is Bears season, unbelievable. You beat the Demons, you beat the Packers twice this season. You beat them in the playoffs. Unbelievable finishes. This is a huge win for the season for the Bears. They're not on the same level as this Rams team. This Rams team's the best team in the league. They're going to the Super Bowl.
I agree. Hey, real quick on Bears Packers. Did you guys like the whole quick handshake and then Ben Johnson in the locker room, F the Packers, we don't like them? Do we like that? I kind of like that.
I like it.
I'm cool with whatever.
Good for sport, yeah.
Is it classless?
Buddy. Classless. Wow.
Classless.
Carter, Mr. Class.
Mr. Class.
I don't know. Well, I
Go
said
get
is
me
it?
a cookout tray.
I said is it? I'm just asking questions here. Big J journalism. I think putting bounty on players is more classless. Sean Payton, I'm talking to you. That's classless.
Well, I would agree.
Well,
if you disagree with that, then.
But
hot take. Trying to get players injured is worse than saying F your rival's coach.
I just think we quickly forget that Sean Payton put bounties on players, and how that is not an issue talked about enough.
Is that confirmed?
Yes, he got penalized.
Yeah, but was that like a Michigan cheating? Oh, we got to do something because people are upset, or
I don't know if
they
that's
actually
the comparison.
found something.
I don't know if that's the comparison I'd make in this situation.
Yeah, I was about to say,
are they actually Well, the NFL. Hey, Goodell. People are really mad about this. Let's give you same way the NCAA did Michigan, or was it actually like, okay, I don't know. I'm skeptical.
Stephon Diggs, we'll move your court date till after the Super Bowl. Sure, keep playing. It's cool. Give me a break. What a leave.
Just skeptical.
All right. Anything else in the NFL before we do a college national title preview?
I hope the games are as good as the first round was, as the wild card was.
I don't think they will be,
especially the last two.
I think we see like 2 to 3 blowouts.
I think so too.
Anyhow, all right. Let's move on to college. The college football national title game: Indiana versus Miami in Miami. Home game for the Canes. Doesn't matter though because they're an 8.5-point dog. Over under 47.5. Dylan. Everybody and their mother is taking Indiana. Indiana this, Indiana that. Cignetti is so much better than Cristobal, which there's no discounting that. But are too many people on the Hoosiers?
I'll start by saying this. I absolutely love whenever Super Bowl national championship neutral site, there's a team from that city that is playing there, like Tampa Bay with the Super Bowl, however many years ago that was with Tom Brady. I love that stuff. So this is great for Miami. My boss is a Miami fan. I'm going to be very boring with this game. If you're expecting a Dylan grandiose, let's make some people mad, you're not going to get it. Because I do think Indiana is just clearly the much better team here, and it's what everybody's doing. Opened at 7.5. We're now like 8.5, 9. Here's my game plan. I think Miami has one of the best defenses in college football, at least in creating havoc. However, we've seen inefficiencies when trying to run the ball. They're 98th in rush EPA per rush attempt. Defensively, 79th against the rush in terms of EPA allowed. I'm going to wait for it to get to 10, and I'm going to take Miami. That's my game plan. I think Indiana wins. If you're saying, hey, what side are you taking right now? I'm probably taking Indiana. It just feels so dirty because I know that's what everybody's doing. You look at Indiana's path to the playoffs, they blow out Alabama. They blow out Oregon. Like, it's square, it's simple. I'm going to wait and maybe get Miami 10. That's what I'm going to do. But if I have to pick right now, I'm going Indiana.
Connor?
I think this might just be the year of destiny for Indiana, and Dylan's right. It's boring. It's what everybody's doing, but it's the truth. I'd rather be right than unpopular. Does that work? Does that work here? I'd rather be right than different. I don't know. I'd rather be right than different. Yeah. So I'm going to pick Indiana.
Right than wrong.
Yeah, I'd rather be right than wrong. Yeah. I need credibility on this show. I'm picking the Hoosiers. Look, if you're Miami, this is the thing. They beat Ole Miss. I thought that was a great game. I picked them in that game. Carson Beck still didn't have an amazing game, if we're being honest. He did enough. When you play against Indiana and this Indiana defense and the offense, you have to be perfect. That's the only path for Miami is perfect. You can't have a turnover. You can't have Carson Beck have 2 interceptions or fumble the ball in the red zone because Indiana's going to make you pay. And the only path to victory I see is if Carson Beck has the game of his career, 450 yards, 5 touchdowns, or if the Miami defense has like 8 sacks. That's the only way Miami's going to win this game. Because if you make one single mistake, or if you just play good, not great, Indiana's making you pay. They're a well-oiled machine. Mendoza makes just about every right decision. If you don't get pressure on him, he is going to move the ball up and down the field on you, and you won't even know what happened. It's going to be 21-0. So I'm picking Indiana here. I think it will be close for a while, but I could see them kind of breaking away, pulling away in the end, and winning by double digits.
Yeah, in these national title previews, it's always tricky because it always feels like there's one heavily bet team on one side where everybody's picking 2019 LSU or 2020 Bama or, 21 Georgia when they played TCU or 22? I can't remember the years exactly. But everybody's on the Georgia, the heavy favorite side, and it still didn't matter at that point. They still blew them out. Now, the difference in this one is I think Miami covers, and I think they keep this close. I think it's a much, much closer game than what people realize. I think.
Well, why is that? Why do they keep
the
it close?
Trenches? I think Miami not just on the defensive line, but I think Miami's offensive line is that much better than Indiana's too. I think they keep this close. I think it's that defense is violent, man. And I know Indiana's played Oregon and Ohio State this year. You play, Big Ten, say what you want about the Big Ten. I think this Miami defense is just different than those. I don't think this Ohio State defense had that same fight and that same violence that this Miami defense has. I think they can get to Mendoza. I think they can make some things happen in this one. The problem is I can't pick Miami to win outright because in no way in this world am I picking Signetti, or am I picking Cristobal over Signetti in a one-off game? I just can't. And I saw Cristobal after the game with SVP. If you're getting mad at Scott Van Pelt over something, that says so much about you. How stupid, just how ridiculous you are. How just your ego and how fragile you are that you're getting mad at Scott Van Pelt. Nobody asks more fair and better questions than Scott Van Pelt in sports media. Get the F out of here, Mario Cristobal. Meanwhile, you're taking QB kneels against Georgia Tech. Yeah, I know that was a couple years ago. I'm still bringing it up because you didn't know you had to take a QB kneel. Get the F out of here. Also, Carson Beck, can he be the game manager? At some point, he's going to have to be able to. He made the throws against Ole Miss. I get it.
Yeah.
Is Carson Beck going to be the what?
I don't know what. I probably effed up what I was going to say.
Game manager.
I was going to say game manager.
Okay. All
right. Should I stop at GA?
Huh?
Did I stop? He's going to be the game.
I'm just saying you pronounce that a certain way. Scott Van Pelt might have something to say about it. I'm just saying. Just saying.
I think that's confirmed. Carson Beck. We don't have to worry about that with Carson Beck.
Okay. So Carson Beck, not a game manager.
Not a game manager. But
game manager. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm going Indiana wins this one 21-24, and it's just tight. But I don't think Carson Beck can get it done.
I think you're right. I think you're right about the trenches. Real quick, is Miami's offensive line's going to have to also have a game of their life. They're going to have to get Mark Fletcher or Chamar Brown going early, because otherwise Indiana's going to go up 2 scores, and then it's an obvious passing down every down from then on out. Then Carson Beck's throwing the ball 45 times, which I don't think is the way for Miami to win. I think they do need to try to establish the run a little bit earlier, which they can do. I think Miami, you're right. Miami's offensive line's been great, especially in this playoff run. It seems like this is just the year from destiny from Indiana. I really do think that.
Carson Beck.
Go ahead.
Carson Beck, deep passes, 12 or more air yards outside of the hashes against Ole Miss, 0 for 6, a total of negative 3.64 total EPA. That's something, we even had an issue with that going into the Ole Miss game, looking at his numbers from Ohio State.
Wait. Didn't he have, outside, so sideline
outside
throws.
the hashes. He was 1 for 1 with that one deep ball down the middle, so 1 for 1, 52 yards. So 1 for 7. But outside the hashes, it didn't look great. I don't know. I just have concerns about if the game's in Carson Beck's hands, do we feel that confident about it?
And I don't, but I think this Miami defense can get a pick 6 on Mendoza, and I think they can.
I think that's fair.
I think they can wreak havoc. And if you're Miami, you're trying to just recreate that Penn State game plan. Do exactly what Penn State did against Indiana, and try to make that happen. There's just not many paths for Miami to win this game. But
can we do the song and dance again like we did with Oregon, Indiana? Does this game sway the number 1 pick conversation? Does Carson Beck catapult himself to the number 1 pick if Miami wins this game?
I will say, I know it ended up being like a blowout, and Dante Moore didn't look great in that game, but if you're a Raiders fan watching that game, you were like, this is unbelievable. I'm so happy with Mendoza.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And also, and I know I keep saying I'm giving Miami all the praises and everything. I'm rooting for Indiana. I do not want Miami to win this game.
Really?
Absolutely not.
Not an
I
ACC
cannot
guy.
stand Mario Cristobal.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Great point, Connor. Great point. Mr. ACC over there.
If Duke made the playoff,
Big
are
Ten?
they the national title?
Oh.
Yes, they're the – okay, this is simple math here. The third-place ACC team is playing for the national title. What would happen if the first-place ACC team played in the playoff?
Or second?
Neutral field, hypothetical line, Duke minus 4.5 against Indiana, probably?
Probably.
Some are saying. That's
See,
even
Daddy
a little
interviewed
low.
for the Duke job when he was leaving JMU.
Duke turned him down, right?
No, we didn't just get him.
Did Duke post the graphic? Kurt Signetti's interviewed for the Duke head coaching vacancy.
I just got one of those Stefanski interviewed for the Dolphins job while we were recording. Just got one of those breaking news.
I've seen 10 Stefanski graphics. It's like, oh, Stefanski interview with this team, Stefanski interview with that team.
Yeah, we need to make one where it's just like it can be even a picture of me, just like interview, and it's like a McDonald's graphic.
Yeah. Breaking. Karter
Or
Baughan
like-
just ordered Little Caesars.
Whenever you know how all these dudes ordered, whenever all these dudes like do the Raising Cane's thing for the photo op or whatever, and it's like interviewed Raising Cane's. It's just like with the headset, and the chicken fingers. Anyhow, all right. Well, you guys got Indiana big in this one. They cover.
No. I'm going Indiana by a touchdown.
I'm going to go Indiana 27-17. So lower scoring game, but 10-point win.
It's funny because I'm sitting here going like Miami's going to keep this close, and then it's like first snap, Carson Beck pick 6, and we're going, oh, okay, yeah.
Change the channel.
I'll go Indiana 17, Miami 10.
All right. Well, anything else before we go?
What a year in college football.
What a year. It's over.
What a weird
Golf
year.
season.
It is over. It's basketball season.
Well, golf
Yes.
starts this week.
It's basketball season.
Sony Open, we're going to Wailele Country
Dylan,
Club.
I've been there. That's
You've
that's
been
Maui,
to
right?
You've been to the country club.
That's Maui, right?
Honolulu.
Nope, haven't been there.
Jeez.
They all the Hawaiian words doesn't compute.
I'm sure that'll go over well with our Hawaiian listeners.
I can't. I couldn't. It took Connor. It took me 10 years to pronounce Oscar Shibwe.
Yeah. You would just go Oscar T.
Yeah, Oscar.
Oscar, yeah.
That big fail on Kentucky. But anyhow, all right. Download SeatGeek. Use code Kartercast. $20 off your first purchase. $50 minimum purchase required. That's code Kartercast at SeatGeek.com today. First purchase, $50 purchase, $20 off. You know the drill. At Kartercast on everything. Subscribe. YouTube numbers going up. This is what we like to see, fellas. And shout out the best ball videos. Go watch the best ball videos.
Thank you.
Go watch Dylan's daily fantasy stuff on there. Great stuff. At Wilkerson A. Dylan on Threads. At Connor_Spare. At CarterB8 on X. And all other social medias as well. At Kartercast. Follow, subscribe, 5-star review. You guys know the drill. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.